Hello and welcome back to the Ecuador Insider Podcast. Jesse, Brandon, pleased to be with you on this fine Thursday afternoon, September 25th, 2025. We're still here, Brandon.
Wow, you even got the date right.
I mean, it's
right on there.
It's right
there. Yeah.
We're still here.
Yeah.
On this spinning ball.
On the spinning ball, spiraling through the nothingness.
The 66.6 degree tilt.
Right.
Spinning ball.
Right, and everything's stuck to it because gravity.
And gravity and stuff.
And stuff and matter and plasma. And yeah. I mean, right? Why not?
If you believe or don't believe that we're on a spinning ball, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. What is it? Comment. Tell us your thoughts on the spinning ball.
Yeah. Spinning ball, bueno or no bueno?
How do you feel about the spinning ball?
What do you think about the spinning ball? I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
You don't think it's interesting?
It's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, the most interesting part about it is like, is it even anything? Like, is it even anything? Yeah. Like, can you even define either of those? Is it even either of those in any definable way or form?
Yeah. I mean, there's not many, there's evidence, I would say, of all of it, and then there's competing evidence to everything as well. And I think some of the evidence is more compelling than others.
Yeah.
But you can make a case.
Yeah, but does it change? Like, if all of the people on Earth believe it's a spinning ball, is it therefore a spinning ball?
I mean, no.
No?
I don't think so, no. Do you think so?
Ooh, could do a whole pod on that.
I know.
On that topic. It's a good one.
Yeah.
I think that there is...
Like, believe in their heart? Or believe, where's the belief come from?
Right.
If they believe in it, because I could argue then, if everybody on Earth believes in their heart that it's a spinning ball, I would probably say it's a spinning ball. If everybody on Earth believes in their head that it's a spinning ball, I would say it's probably not a spinning ball.
I like the distinction.
All right. I don't even know where that came from.
I mean, is it a full-on simulation or not? Is basically the question. Are we actually avatars plugged in, and our consciousness is going through this simulation?
I mean, it's becoming a more and more popular viewpoint.
Yeah.
On
social media. As we get closer and closer to 0 point.
I mean, I don't know, Point Break.
More and more truth gets revealed.
More closer to point. Is it 0 point or Point Break?
Was that Keanu Reeves?
It is Keanu Reeves. Well done. Yeah.
He's another interesting one. Because he has he's thought of as the kind, humble, loving, heart-based celebrity.
Is that what he's known for?
Yeah.
Okay.
You haven't come across?
I mean, I don't know.
Oh.
Is he kind, humble, loving?
Yeah. There's always this stuff that comes out of him, giving up, riding the subway and giving up his seat and to women really? And helping people randomly.
I think the only thing I remember about not movie-related stuff is there was somebody sent me a thing where he's so conscious when he's taking pictures with women.
Oh, he won't touch.
He put his hand. Yeah. He makes sure his hands are out in the picture. I remember, and there was 1,000 pictures of him, and he makes sure his hands are visible.
Right. I'm gonna say that he touched them. Or
right.
Whatever, yeah.
That's all. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So there is this narrative for sure, and I was watching something, and then he had one of those very tragic events in his life.
Did he?
Yeah.
With who?
I'm trying to remember if it was a daughter or if it was.
Has he been married?
It was somebody that level of closeness.
I want to find this.
That died.
Tragically passed.
Yeah, tragically passed. Maybe a long time ago. I want to say maybe 15 plus years ago or something. But right. So the illusion, What is the illusion? I mean, it's all the illusion, but what is the illusion? How much of this stuff, how much of the narratives, that we see, like Keanu Reeves or Charlie Kirk or any of the others, to what degree is this real? Any of it?
Charlie Kirk and who else?
Interesting. No, just all the narratives.
Oh, I thought you said Charlie Sheen. Did you see he put a tell-all documentary out on Netflix. I want to watch it.
That's why I've been seeing stuff. Yeah.
I want to watch it. He was I don't know, whatever he was into some crazy shit, but pop culture wise, Major League and
I guess he got the biggest during 2.5 Men, huh?
Oh, he was huge. He was the highest paid actor on TV. Yeah,
it was a good show.
It was a great show, actually. Yeah. But he talks about I've only seen a clip again on X, but it made me save it to my list on Netflix because I want to watch it. But he talked about how he was blackmailed for so long, and now he's like, I don't care. Yeah, and he's talking about, I got to the point where, I was so into drugs and sex, and I was so addicted that I just, kind of stuff we talked about with Stallone, where, the endorphin's not enough. It's not enough. The dopamine hit's not enough. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next on sex? And maybe dudes. How do I,
Wow.
Right. So, but he said, I tried it. I got to the point where, but it was interesting because he's at least on the clip, he
blackmail me now.
Right. That he was blackmailed by that. That he, was so against, and he's like, now, what are you gonna do?
Hilarious.
So I don't know, it makes me want to watch it.
Yeah. He definitely. He's I saw some clips of his. I don't know if it was from that. I thought it was maybe from Joe Rogan or something, but where he was just talking about different stuff like that. But yeah, he's definitely mentally different. His lifestyle clearly has affected him.
Ooh, yes. Keanu Reeves experienced a tragic family death early in his career as a young actor. Mm-hmm. In October 1993, his close friend and co-star River Phoenix, was considered like a brother, died of a drug overdose. I don't know.
Is that what it was?
I don't know. That's what this says. Blah, 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 blah.
I'm not sure. I thought it was something different, but it could have been that.
In 91, his younger sister Kim was diagnosed with leukemia.
And
battle that lasted a decade.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they just said his sister died or something and didn't specify.
I don't know. She achieved remission in 99. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she subsequently died at some point.
Okay.
But I don't know. According to that, yeah.
All right. Well, is today the conspiracy? Oh, I don't know. It's just interesting to me, the whole narratives idea.
Yeah.
Because it's just I think the Charlie Kirk one is just such a great example. It's look at how many narratives exist off of that event or story or whatever it is. Look at how many narratives exist. You've got he was Hitler and he was destroying the world, and so F him and F anyone who believes in him, and he's a racist, misogynist, blah 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 blah, and he deserved it, and that's a narrative. Then you've got it's the most tragic event that's ever happened, and it's the turning point, and it's but all this other kind of stuff, which is a polar opposite narrative. Then you've got the it didn't exist at all, it didn't happen, it's staged, he's a Freemason, it's all just for it was for show, and they had all these different agents or whatever in the crowd doing this and doing that and creating diversions, and then you've got the narratives within those of you've got so it's just just thinking about narratives. I was just thinking about that as it relates to Keanu Reeves, who has this image of this very kind-hearted, humble, genuine, awesome celebrity who doesn't act like that, right? And then, but I was watching this thing, and it was he had this tragic event happen, and how much of his life is just narrative versus...
Right. Is he really that guy?
Yeah, right. Or is that the role he's playing in the narrative, the narrative war or whatever.
Is that great PR, guys?
right. On that level too, right? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So anyways, I don't know. This might be a little bit of the conspiracy theory episode or the current events episode.
Yeah, well, the Charlie Kirk one, man, I mean, the one thing regardless of what you believe, what narrative you believe or don't believe or question, dude, he elevated in consciousness. Everybody that didn't know Charlie Kirk knows Charlie Kirk. Everybody's still talking about him, 2 weeks after the assassination, if it happened, right? I mean, whatever happened on the 10th, what's today, the 25th? It's 2 weeks later. He's still the top of everything.
For sure.
He's all news stories. He's all trending. He's all social media.
It's a much bigger event than Trump's assassination attempt was.
Yeah.
In terms of the news cycle.
Right. And it was all there, and everybody's talking about it, man. And there's clips. I've seen more Charlie Kirk clips since then, by far. Like, it just and they're all good. They're actually, almost every one of them, I'm like, wow, he was really well-spoken, really good, man.
Yeah.
He was... I mean, for a 31-year-old dude, he was very well put together, man.
Absolutely.
Very well spoken, very respectful. I mean, he got to the point. I did find somewhere he's finally like, all right, like, enough's enough,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done here.
He's had his moments that are a little ugly, but overall, yeah.
And they weren't even ugly. They were just like, I'm not, like, he already made his point. The person clearly is not understanding that he's debating with. They're like anybody else watching is like, oh, I get it. Like, you're just digging yourself deeper and deeper, and you're just recycling the same. And he's like, all right, I can't keep going this way anymore. Like, that's like, I've seen that, but nothing like where I thought like, oh, that was super ugly. Like, it really wasn't. That I found. But I was really impressed with a lot of the stuff he said, to be honest. Like, a lot.
Yeah. No, I mean, I followed him, not closely, but enough to know his opinions. For years. Dude. I mean, he's good. Like, he's good. Yeah.
So that's a thing, man. So you didn't see the Snake Eye stuff. Do you want to jump into that?
The movie, yeah, sure.
All right. So this is crazy to me. I'm going to read. This is a good summary. So the 1998, it was released in 98, Snake Eyes with Nicolas Cage. It's about the central theme of the movie is the assassination of this politician.
Right. It was like Charles Kirkland or something.
Charles Kirkland.
Yeah.
Getting shot in the neck in a boxing match, in a public arena, in a boxing match.
Yeah.
So there's a box in the boxing match. There's a boxer that takes a fall. Like, that's part of the story. Like, he takes a fall. His name is Lincoln Tyler. Okay? In Kirk's case, Tyler Robinson is the suspect that the patsy, or the patsy, the whatever they're...
I love how you just subconsciously went right to patsy.
Yeah. So this is interesting. So the Tyler thing. So in Masonic tradition, the Tyler is the officer who guards the door of the lodge with a drawn sword, ensuring that only initiated brethren enter. He keeps out cowens and eavesdroppers. So the Tyler is the Masonic guard or executioner.
Wow.
In the film, Lincoln Tyler is known as the Atlantic City executioner. And then they did gematria on Lincoln Tyler and Tyler Robinson.
Yeah.
It's all the same, So that was it. So then the film was shot on location, guess where? At the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City.
Wow.
The character Gilbert Powell in film was literally based on Donald Trump, according to IMDb. Wow. On the movie poster, Nicolas Cage is doing the same hand signal that you just talked about, that you've seen. Again, like, that one's a one for me where I've seen 1,000 people do this. I've done this signal. That doesn't, people,
totally.
People take pictures like this. It's like not even, that doesn't mean I'm a Mason,
Well, I mean, I don't want to interrupt your point here, but I want to talk about that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So in the film, the patsy is a Palestinian terrorist who mentions an Israeli arms dealer. In the movie poster, it says, "Believe everything but your eyes." And So those are the things. The other thing is that the event, the assassination happened on September 10th.
Right.
Which happened on September 10th. Charlie Kirkland.
Right.
Charlie shot in the neck. Like, dude, I don't know.
It's insane.
There's too many things that are like,
Yeah.
is that really are we really,
Right.
that's all coincidental?
Right.
Like, we really should believe that that's just all a coincidence, all of that stuff?
Right.
Like, it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, and that stuff gets right back into the simulation conversation.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let's see if there was something else. I feel like I'm missing something. There's more similarities. Yeah, the event date, the boxing match is on September 10th. Hand gesture, filming at Taj Mahal. Yeah, the movie involves a military arms plot with Palestinian patsy. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this was the Freemason stuff. Oh, all right. I thought there was more on that, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems to me like you either have to you have to really just say, I'm actively taking a blue pill. Like, you have to consciously take a blue pill
Yeah.
to say that that's all coincidence, in my opinion.
But you would have to have seen that.
Seen what?
We're further along down the path of the split, where people who don't want to see the truth will never come across that kind of thing.
That's not true.
You don't think that's true?
No, it's not. Because I know people that are further along the path that I've shared this with.
Well, I would almost argue if you're even able to still share stuff with them, they're not as far along the path as you might think.
Yes, they are. They're jabbed and boosted and way left and yeah.
But still friends with you.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't maybe call us friends.
And open to like looking at stuff
No,
you
I
send.
mean, I don't know if they're looking at it, but they'll at least recognize it and there's a conversation, at least a few sentences about it. Where,
Okay. All right.
I don't know,
well, you'd
man.
have to be the judge of like their level of participation in the information.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my point, regardless of whether there's exceptions to that rule or not, like I think the point is still really valid, because it's like, I don't know, my experience with people who have decided that there is no such thing on earth as a conspiracy, that every single thing that they have been told by their newspaper and their politician and their television is true.
The official
right?
story
Like,
is
yeah,
true.
whatever they're going, like people who have really taken that stance, and of course they would never say that. And if you said that to them, like, hey, why do you believe everything the TV says? They would never say, they would say, what do you mean? I don't believe everything the TV says. But from my perspective, right, have gone down that path. A lot, like those folks have created, like we all create our own reality, but like those folks have created a reality for themselves where, for the most part, information that could puncture their reality and could cause cognitive dissonance and could cause them to like recalculate and reassess and rethink, and like they've created a reality where that information for the most part just doesn't even get in. And like I've noticed that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it gets in. I think it gets in subconsciously. That's the point.
Yeah, in some kind of way, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's a big way.
Yeah, but it's like people I know personally who like would think that that's insane. They're not gonna get that in their feed. They're never gonna see that. Like, it's not on PBS. It's not on CNN.
Yeah.
It's not on NPR.
Right.
It's not on any.
But
It's not.
There's so many people. Like, that's such a small population now that only gets media from those sources anymore.
True, but people's feeds are totally tailored. So like, I mean, I sometimes accidentally come across like the other belief system and like their memes and their like stuff, and I have moments of confusion where I don't understand. Like they'll put something and I'm reading it and I'm like, and I don't have the context because I don't think that way, and I'll have this moment where I don't understand the point. Like I don't understand what they're saying, and then it'll like hit me and I'll be like, oh, like these are the underlying assumptions that make that a point and make that either a funny or make that.
No, you don't. I have my whole Twitter feed is like extremes on both sides. Like I intentionally follow like super hardcore liberals and super hardcore conservatives and loudmouths and everything in between on purpose.
Yeah.
So like the Krasensteins on the left and the, you know, like people that have a voice. Like I don't know, like I have no idea who they are. They're too loud, very, you know, will make do exactly what you just described, like on every issue.
Yeah.
So like I follow that just to kind of understand like, that's what they're saying about this. And that's where like regardless of like I don't think, and we've had this conversation before, I don't think Trump's the white knight. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's this hero. I don't think he's Hitler either. I don't think he's I don't think he's like this evil, you know, all evil person either. But I 100% believe that Trump derangement syndrome exists.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. And that's part of what I think some of this is, I think that is the cognitive dissonance. So like, for example, Trump and RFK come out and talk about Tylenol, right? They talk about Tylenol and how they have these studies. And I haven't read the studies, I don't know, but there's supposedly studies that link a higher risk of autism in children whose mother that take a certain amount of Tylenol during pregnancy. Okay, maybe. I don't know. I don't think they're just lying. I'm guessing there's studies. Maybe there's studies that say, hey, this is a better study or this, whatever. Maybe there's better scientific data.
Yeah.
But the point is that they came out and said, hey, there's all this data, there's all these studies that say there's a likelihood of an increased risk of autism if you take Tylenol prenatal. Like, okay, so to me, regardless of where my political, you know, position is, I would want to go read the data. I wouldn't just like, I would want to go read the studies, see the studies, even though I don't take Tylenol, I haven't taken Tylenol in, I don't know, 20, 30 years, I don't even know. So I already know where I stand on that, but I would still I would still go look at it and say like, all right, hey, is there really an association here or not? And what did I see online? You see people,
like popping Tylenol, pregnant.
doctors, fertility doctors, just because they were triggered by the because Trump said it.
Yeah.
Instead of like, hey, maybe there's something, let's be rational, let's first do no harm, let's look at the data. Maybe there is, yes, we've used Tylenol for a long time. Maybe there is something to it. Let's find out, let's do better studies. Let me understand the studies. No.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a political point that shows how, like, to me, that's the cognitive dissonance. That the first reaction is, I'm going to show my pregnant belly to the world, and I'm going to take Tylenol, look, and my baby won't get autism.
Yeah.
Like,
in defiance.
Like, what is that?
Yeah.
To me, that's derangement. That's that's deranged. That's deranged behavior.
Yeah, I mean, it looks insane.
Right, and I don't care. I hope their baby doesn't get autism.
Of course.
I hope there's no connection between Tylenol and you know, but like really that's where we're at, that's the response to some news about the risk of autism that I'm going to like like what?
Yeah, I mean
it's insane.
The whole thing is that whole phenomenon is quite a thing. It's so insane because you know, you've got a whole section of the population that has literally removed logic and thought from the equation completely, and it leads to behavior like that. Like it leads to behavior like celebrating someone's death or popping Tylenol to show your defiance to the health secretary, like, and the reason, or one of the reasons why it's so I mean, it's illogical on every level. It's crazy in every level, and it's inhumane as well. It's very like that's the other thing. You see these videos. Like I saw this video of this guy who was wearing like either one of Charlie Kirk's conservative hats or Trump, Make America Great or something like that. And he was basically trying to do like what Charlie Kirk does, but he must not have the same level of security or whatever it was. But he got attacked.
Really?
And yeah, and it was like, it looked, the amount of middle fingers he got and just the amount of angry screaming people and people damaging his car as he was trying to leave. And it was a lot, it was on a college campus, probably just in the last couple of days. But anyways, my point is just to get that mental state that allows for that sort of behavior. I think like we can't pretend it isn't, like it is what it is. Like that's insane. Like that's a level of, of loss of humanity and a loss of sort of cognitive function and logic. That's crazy. Like if you're, like, I don't care if, listen, I could hate someone. I try not to hate anyone. I try to understand everybody's a reflection of me, and if there's something in them I don't like, it's an aspect of myself, and we're all one. And I really try to like remind myself of those concepts that I believe are accurate. But even if I fell into that trap and I really hated somebody's guts because of something that I perceived they did to me, or some, or they blew up a million people or whatever, like some reason that I feel justified in hating someone. Even so, man, I mean, to celebrate the death of a human being,
right.
Period, like, is insane. Like, that's truly insane behavior, man. And I just wanted to go back real quick to the whole, like, pre-predictive programming and the what was it, snake eyes and all that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, dude, like, I mean, The Simpsons and, like, what's gone on, the amount of things that have come out in the show that seem to replicate, or reality seems to replicate years later, the amount of pre-predictive programming that they've put out in there. I mean, I'll never get over that sort of image of Trump coming down the elevator and doing that hand signal with Melania like behind him or whatever.
What are you doing?
What?
What kind of hand signal?
No, he like waves.
Oh.
He does it like, it's like a cartoon. I don't remember,
Okay.
but
It's not like a
it's
Nazi
like,
thing.
No, it's like when he announced his candidacy, he comes down this elevator with this whole crowd and Melania probably just behind him, and he like waves or something. I don't remember exactly what he did with his arm, but he like made some movement. And The Simpsons had showed that, like, precisely. Precisely. And there's a lot of stuff like that. I mean, you talk about, there was this movie that, it was like a made-for-TV movie that laid out the entire plot of COVID.
Yeah.
Like as accurately as you're describing with Snake Eyes. Like at least that similar, maybe even more so, because it was a virus and it had this vaccine, and the vaccine came from China, and the actual virus the actual like thing that was deleterious to your health was actually in the vaccine, and there was this rush to stop it, and it was like, anyways, yeah.
Yeah. That's where we're at, man.
Yeah.
And that's what's awesome right now. Like, strange days.
Yeah.
But what a wild time to be alive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful, and it's just the time, it's like whatever you've chosen to experience, it's what it is. It's where it's at for everyone. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Nah, dude.
Yeah.
Nah.
Why do you think that people who are experiencing tremendous anxiety over whatever whatever the story narrative that they've tuned into, like, why are they experiencing that and you aren't?
You have free will.
Choice, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I just said.
That's what you mean.
Yeah. Like, exactly.
I thought you meant more in like a faded way.
Faded?
Like, you're experiencing what you chose before.
Oh, faded. Right. I thought you meant like faded, like my jeans are faded.
No, fated.
Faded, yeah.
Is that a word?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think, as far as I know. Yeah, I mean, I guess I do. I mean, like a mix of the two, but it's kind of the same thing. It's like, if you've chosen to face shadows and fears, in some capacity that then don't cause you to need to face shadows and fears when external stuff could trigger them. Those things then are not triggers for you having to face your shadows and fears.
So it's just like your choices are always just reaffirming fate in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So like, yeah, so we're in this time where, where like it's very intense. It's very intense at whatever level of evolution you're at. Like, wherever your challenges are, they're intense right now, on Earth.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's evolution. Is it evolution?
I don't know, what word would you use?
I don't know. It's just kind of, I don't know, evolution with the implication that it's becoming better or more than, or what?
Well, I view the human experience, and I said, like, I view, right? These are through my eyes. Like, I view the human experience as the opportunity. I mean, there's many other aspects and other ways I could put this, but just based on what we're talking about. It's very much, at least you could summarize a large portion of it as the experience to fully discover yourself, right? Or you could say God also, but like it's the experience of self-discovery. It's like realizing that there's actually nothing taking place other than you. Like that's kind of, from my perspective, and many people would disagree, of course. That's kind of the ultimate lesson of like this level of like this experience, is realizing you're just interacting with yourself. It's just you. It's just you.
So how does that relate to?
Yeah, so the evolutionary stages in that tend, I'm not going to describe them perfectly or anything, but tend to start with believing we're in this fixed place, that there's rules that we can and do agree upon, like gravity and spinning ball and whatever, right? Like there's rules to the reality we live in that we can define, and 1 + 1 = 2, and if I do, things have a reaction, and if I do this will happen, and it's like we start out there, and then we go through experiences, and then but we externalize everything, right? It's like we view our experience as internal, external, and those things being separate, and then we have emotions, and we have reactions, and we have feelings, and we have all kinds of stuff based on what we're viewing as external, and then we try and manipulate that. We say, like, well, it's too cold, I'm gonna get a sweater, or like, it sucks living in a cardboard box, like I'm gonna try and make some money, or like whatever.
Homeless is really not that a choice, is it? Isn't it?
Not
like,
that choice.
I don't know. It's a good one, but like homeless one is like I spent so much time, like when Tiff and I first lived in Rockford.
Yeah.
I used to intentionally go talk to homeless people.
Nice.
And it didn't. I used to always trying to help them, but I wanted them to like earn it, like,
right.
mow, like, here, rake the leaves and I'll pay her, I'll buy you some food or whatever. Then I got to the point, I'm like, they don't, it was either almost every time they were homeless because they were either mentally insane.
Right.
They like needed to be in a loony bin.
Right.
Which, I don't know. I don't even know if those exist anymore.
Well, they're talking about bringing them back, yeah.
That, or they were just addicts. They were drug addicts.
Right.
I mean, really, that was it, man. They were mentally broken. Even the veterans that I met, they were just mentally broken, insane, whatever you want to call it, or drug addicts, or both.
Yeah.
But that was it, man. There was nobody like, there was nobody that was like, like, I think it wasn't like a choice. They weren't like, it was like, they were
right.
Drug
it wasn't at least a daily conscious choice.
They were just on drugs and don't care. They were addicted to drugs and don't care about anything else. or they were crazy.
Yeah, which both of those just mean there's underlying trauma.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's all.
Or abuse. Yeah,
Right,
sure. Yeah,
right.
all the
That's
above,
what that
sure.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so you start out viewing things as external. Then at some point you either have an epiphany or you don't, where you start to realize like, wait, this is not, I'm playing the wrong game. Trying to like rearrange the external is a futile and useless and often counterproductive activity.
Yeah.
That's not actually what's taking place. And then you start to look inward, right? Like if that happens, you start to look at yourself. And so then you start to uncover the shadows and the unhealed aspects and all of those kinds of things. And then the external then matches that precisely in my view, very precisely. And so what, the external, which is actually the reflection of and the catalyst for the internal, right? It's a reflection of and catalyst for the internal. So then a process comes of like, it's showing you the stuff. So if you're in a stressed out, fearful state, and that's just like the state you're in, well then what do? You turn on the news. And what is the news? It's a perfect match to your stressed out, fearful state, and it adds to that. It becomes a loop. It becomes a internal, external feedback mechanism, where
Echo chamber,
where you become, you can become very extreme at that point in all of your whatever narrative you've signed up for, of Trump's a Nazi or Biden's the devil, or whatever story you've decided is right, and then what you experience is just a reflection of that level of evolution. So that's like what I'm referring to, right? So it's like if you're at a level evolutionarily where you understand a lot of what I just said and you've incorporated a lot of that into your life, well then when some guy comes across your feed trying to scare you about something, or something, some aspect of reality comes into your perception that could be panic-inducing, fear-inducing, stress-inducing, etc., it isn't. It's just not.
Right.
And that's because of the choices you've made along the way, which have allowed for a level of evolution where those internal things are not needed to be pointed out to you in the same way by the external, and so by the external, and so they lose their meaning. And so that's why, like, the same news story to one person is terrifying, and the same news story to the other person is like, I don't even know if this is real, much less have any effect on me and my world. But to the other person, they're terrified. I mean, they might go through a 10-day tizzy over, some news story.
So maybe evolution. I mean, or like unfolding, or Odyssey.
Right.
Odyssey.
Right.
I like the Odyssey.
Yeah, I like unfolding.
I like Odyssey.
Yeah.
Odyssey reminds me of. You didn't watch the series Vikings?
I did. I saw at least probably the first season, or
There's 6 seasons.
Some amount. Yeah, I definitely didn't do that.
Yeah. So
that was the one with like Magnus something.
Ragnar,
Oh, that was
Ragnar
a different one?
Lothbrok. No.
Yeah, maybe.
Travis Fimmel. He's an Australian actor that plays
I'm not gonna know that. Yeah, okay. I think I saw at least some episodes or a season or something.
Yeah, Ragnar, dude. So that's a cool one because it illustrates a lot of what you talked about, in regard to how Ragnar was raised with the Nordic gods, and there's a group of Northmen that have these beliefs of Thor and Odin, the Allfather, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then he kind of meets a Christian monk.
Yeah.
And takes him as a slave, learns from him, but then they have this spiritual connection. And then as the series progresses, you see like this, they do a really good job of illustrating the external and internal, both conflict and manifestation of belief intertwining Jesus Christ as the one true God versus Thor and Odin and Freya and the 1,000 Greek or Nordic gods or whatever, however many. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but but there's a lot of them,
Yeah.
But it's interesting as you see the Christian monk go back and forth between Christianity and Thor and Odin but like internally and externally, they do a great job of like really, illustrating it for the viewer, for us as a viewer watching, like what that was like, even from their eyes, but then, visually as well. Like they do a great job of the storytelling and the torment and the, that whole yin yang balance between both Ragnar as well as Athelstan, the priest. Dude, it's really like that's like the coolest part of the whole. I mean, yeah, the whole story is awesome, just in regard to, that kind of stuff in general with Vikings and raids and that lifestyle and that,
Right.
I don't know, just a different time,
Yeah.
But with that piece where you see that, they do a great job illustrating that. Even the King Egbert of Wessex, you can kind of see how that, the same thing, like understanding like spiritually how things are feeling and manifesting, and then and maybe from like an Odyssey or evolution perspective, how you see like one of the Nordic, at the time, Ragnar was an earl and King Horik was, his superior was the king, and Horik was trying to teach his son the rules in the 3D, the rules of the game, and ended up getting himself killed, like playing that game, getting him by Ragnar, getting himself caught in the game, trying to teach his son about power and this and that, and Ragnar understanding loyalty and and understanding loyalty and what that was like, and then this whole complex plot, was brought to light, and he flipped it, and took out Horik, right? And so it's just interesting, like, all right, at what level are you going to is it a game?
Yeah.
At what level are you want to play, right? And where, you know what I mean?
Totally.
I know, it's really, I'm telling you, like, you could, it's really awesome how they work through that, and they do a great job. I mean, probably most people that watch it don't pay attention to that kind of shit, I would guess.
Of course.
But if you watch it, man, like it's so right there, and they do a really good job. Overall, the acting's pretty good, and cinematography is pretty good. So but six seasons, it's like, it's a commitment.
Yeah, I definitely watched some of that, because even you were reminding me of some of it in that. But yeah, I don't think I watched, certainly not more than a season.
And then even some of the other stuff with vengeance and forgiveness and hope, and like it's really cool, man. Anyway, that's what I got. As soon I got from evolution to Odyssey to Vikings, and I don't know.
Glad you got there. It's good. I mean, I think of you as a Viking already, so your affinity for that just makes me happy.
Dude, it's so good. I think
you did some Vikinging at one point.
Dude, I think my Polish coat of arms.
Yeah.
They were like mercenaries for hire, warriors for hire or something.
Yeah.
But dude, you look at some of how they ruled, how earls ruled.
Yeah.
Where it's like everything was public.
Yeah.
It was like, these are the rules. Like, I don't know. There was no hiding. There was nothing. It was all just like, here, man. All right. Yeah, no, that's right. You're right. I was dishonorable. I got, what do you want me to know? I got, all right, what's the punishment? Or,
oh, that's great. Yeah.
That's
a better, accountability is a powerful.
Yeah. And partly because the consequences were so much more dire.
Right.
Like,
No,
all
there's
right,
something to be said for that.
yeah, like, all right, well, shoot.
It does. It makes everything more honest.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like when everyone has a firearm.
Whew, man.
Everybody's more honest.
Dude, yeah, did you see there was like a sniper at the ice stuff or,
Yeah, I did see
whatever?
that, yeah.
Yeah, that stuff's getting a little nutty.
Yeah, it's getting very nutty, and it's interesting. Well, actually, just real quick, I wanted to touch on. So, you talking about levels of the game, right? And at what level you choose to play the game. And particularly in that case, we're kind of talking about the 3D game. Because it's like there's games, there's layers, right? There's games on top of games taking place. And so, you're using that example where somebody chooses to teach someone else a lesson through, actions that they understand within the game. It plays out however it plays out. Someone else kills them as a result of, whatever was going on. And, I'm just thinking about that, right? So it's like, well, what are the rules of that game? Well, they're as expansive, or I should just say they are, whatever the consciousness level of each person playing the game has decided they are. Same like the rules, the parameters, to that game. And so whatever those lessons were at that time in this fictional story, but like whatever those lessons were for the guy that got killed in terms of the parameters he put on the game, and the guy that killed him and the parameters that he put at the game, like that played out in that way at their level of consciousness for those reasons at that time. But there's also the malleability within that, like the guy who was going to kill the other guy, for example, we could use either way, but like the guy who's going to kill the other guy, for example, may have like conquered a level, found like a place in his consciousness that was new to him, that he discovered, that made the rules of the game change and made killing the guy irrelevant, made killing the guy no longer interesting because it didn't satisfy the psychological thing that was taking place for him based on his level of consciousness and the rules of the game that he's created. Oh, well, if this happens, I have to do that, right? Well, okay, now I've burst through the next level of my process or of my consciousness or my evolution.
My odyssey.
And my odyssey, right? And now it's not the same. Now that happens and I'm like, huh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, interesting, right?
Yeah.
But you said one other, oh yeah, so I remember you saying this to me a long time ago, probably 2-3 years ago or something. And I kind of like, because I remember you saying like, we were talking about timelines and civil war and those possibilities and like, and I think both of us kind of agree that probably those worst timelines are not very likely in terms of like Mad Max, collapse, civil war type scenarios. But I remember you making the point a couple of times that people are so angry at Trump and at like that whole kind of thing, and the derision, the divisiveness is so extreme that you kind of had a concern about the left, right? Sort of being upset enough at these sort of demigod, I don't know if that's the right word, but being upset enough at these, at what their belief, their narrative, whatever it is, that there would be violence, and then what that could look like and how that could descend. And again, I don't know if that's what we're seeing with some of this stuff now, or if these are just military operations, or if they're made for TV operations, or something else that I have no idea, truthfully, like what
Sure.
we're really looking at right now. But there's you could make a strong case that that's what we're looking at. That we're looking at like the backlash of folks from the left who have been fed a narrative that they've gotten very, very upset about and has made them willing to go as far as violence and death to whatever, to like make them feel that that's how they feel they're right or they're justified or whatever. Because I always kind of just took the position of like, the left are like drinking soy lattes, like they're not like, they're not like.
It's interesting. You know what? It's going to be the left is probably going to be the first ones to drink Soylent Green.
Well, yeah, right, all that, right, and eat bugs and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
I mean, they're doing all that. But anyway, so I just wanted to. It's interesting. We are closer to a Civil War idea scenario than we've been, in my opinion, in my lifetime.
Agreed.
It's the first time where I'm looking at the kind of political temperature or whatever, and I'm seeing like, like people are pretty upset at one another, like in a way that makes me see that scenario as like some amount of possibility.
Yeah, and for me, it's from the perspective or perception of irrationalism.
Yeah.
On both sides, like it seems so. Like people are so irrationally exuberant about everything. I don't know. Like I'm sitting here, I'm like, really? This can't be real. Like, I can't believe these are the reactions, like to things that just seem so like. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like they shouldn't be triggering.
Yeah.
He said Tylenol, maybe, maybe we should look into this, or hey, there's some studies like, hey, no, not my Tylenol, Gah! Right? Or Charlie Kirk, whether he's alive, not fake, whatever.
Right.
It sure looks like somebody died live on, that a human being lost their life and people are cheering it. He deserved it. This is, God's work and blah. Like, that's despicable to me. Like, I don't care what you think of him.
No.
Like, that's like, yeah, kill him.
Right.
Should have died sooner. Wish he would have suffered. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, there's literally not a human on Earth I feel that way about. Not a human.
So irrational.
I don't even think it's justified against, like, someone who's really done despicable things. Like, you don't accomplish anything by revenge. Even if you're justified, and even if it's true, and even if your story's true, and even if the guy, like, killed people and was horrible, and, like, you still don't gain anything out of revenge. Like.
And that was kind of cool with just to go back to the Vikings and Ragnar for a second.
Let's do it.
But because, I talked to you about how they did a good job of really illustrating the internal, external, spiritual, 3D, dichotomous, back and forth and conflict, odyssey, maybe, the odyssey of that. And the folks that were further along the odyssey, the characters of that, were like, they would show, it was still a culture at that time, at least portrayed in this series, as vengeful, like loyalty and pride and I will venge, but there were also, they showed characters that were further along their odyssey, like Ragnar, who, hey, this dude was fighting against him, killed his people, and they conquered, they saved him. He was the brother, going to be the puppet, for the vassal king or something on the Saxons. And the dude in camp came to Ragnar like, hey, I'm, please forgive me. I didn't know. I was confused, blah, 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 blah. And he just kind of looked at him and he's like, okay, you're forgiven. What, whatever. Like, what do you want me to do?
Right.
Like,
this is not a triggering event for me.
Right.
Basically.
Right. Yeah, dude. So, they show that kind of stuff, like, throughout. And it's only with the folks that are, the characters that are going through the spiritual journey as well, that are having those types of maybe off character or off trend, 3D kind of.
Yeah, it's really
events.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's levels to this shit, baby.
Yeah.
And layers, it's a multi-leveled, multi-layered. It's like almost an infinite level layered experience, because it's so, anything you're working on it on every level. So it's like, you think you're trying to figure out how to, like, put on this basketball tournament,
Right.
But, like, you're not. you're actually learning like how to work with all these people and how to understand all these aspects of yourself and of your consciousness, and when this happens, how you respond and what that means, and like, but you think, but the success and failure of that in part is hinged on like you learning those lessons as you go through that process.
Yeah.
Because those are the it's like the unlocks. It's like the cheat codes or the unlocks in video games or something where it's like, okay, I solved this aspect of my consciousness. Therefore, this whole path can open. This part of the map can open up now. Type idea.
And the maps are maybe infinite.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think if God's infinite, then the maps are infinite, I think.
Right. And who's to say God's not infinite?
Right.
Not me.
I would argue that that's pretty likely in some way.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. That was another interesting thing with the whole back and forth between Jesus Christ and the characters that were, emotionally like, I am reborn. I've been in that, and then back and forth between, wait a second, but I spoke to Thor, Thor spoke to me too, and just as powerful, and then back and forth, and you see so, at what level do you say, to me, let me backtrack. Mm-hmm. I would say that when we think we know in this realm, like I know for sure, like that is loaded with hubris for me and a trap. Like I think that's the trap.
Big time.
And maybe that's at the end of the day, at the end of, my time in this realm, we'll know for sure. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe it was like, hey, I kept showing you all the signs. Why didn't you, okay, maybe. Or, hey, you stayed humble. It could be. Maybe if you believe in angels and spirits and other gods, regardless of what you believe in, the one true God concept, whatever, are there other angels, spirits that are impacting or have influence in this realm? I would say yes. So does that mean because they influenced you that, I don't know. It's just, it's just more like, I don't need to know, yes, this is for sure. And that's kind of what, they tell you, they kind of show you in that, there can be signs that you can take and you can listen or not. You can follow that. But once you know for sure in this game, in this reality, man, it's kind of gross. It's kind of gross to me. It's kind of like when I see the actions that take place after that, I don't like it.
Exactly.
I don't like that.
It's disrespectful to God, yeah.
I don't like it, right? Because how do you know for sure?
Right. Exactly.
Right? That's like, I know more than God. I know more. I know better.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and it's kind of gross to me. So I think you can believe, you can have a belief system, you can be convicted in it, and you can still be humble enough to say, I may be wrong, and there may be other ways, and that's okay, right? But that's hard for people, because if you're basing your whole identity or salvation on a belief, a convicted belief that if this isn't true, what does that mean for me versus,
right? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It all comes back to just ego and identity. It's all just, it's the buying into and then protecting, this ego identity that needs to be right. Mm-hmm. It needs to be right, because if it's not right, then there's an unknown, and the unknown's scary, and my identity is tied up in this belief system that I have.
Yeah. And to me, the unknown is the beauty. That's the part, right. That's the peace. That's the part that, knowing for sure, ironically, that there is unknown, that's part of it, that's what gives me hope. Like, that's like the unending supply of hope.
Right. In the endless malleability or the endless possibilities that exist. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Regardless of how dark it gets.
Yeah. No, and even the conclusion of it being dark is one that you're making.
Right.
Like, even that.
Yeah.
Like, you're coloring.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's, I don't, like, you almost can't find somebody who we would sort of, as a culture or society or just as human beings, would deem highly successful or highly accomplished or highly advanced in some, as a human or in some aspect of whatever, that doesn't tell some version of that story of kind of finding the massive win in the collapse or in the massive loss or in the hardship or in the, the dark, sort of what could be viewed as, failure or da-da-da-da. Like, that's often where, where that huge lesson, that breakthrough, that, that catapult to the next level. Because a lot of it is just like the perspective. So it's just like what you decide about the thing, about the input or the thing that you're experiencing.
And how it's mixed, how the powers that be, the manipulators of this reality, those that are intentionally, which I believe this to be true. I believe there are people, humans, that are intentionally creating divide and divisiveness and this false dichotomy for many reasons. But like that kind of gives things a swirl. It gives things a shake, right? And that's like you. Did you see the study on this is kind of like a racial, a racial culture study, but then the unseeing hand, or what do they call it, the invisible hand, of the powers that be with the black and red ants. Did you see that? That they did that?
I did. But
yeah, it's like, so they can take a jar of black ants, a jar of red ants, dump them out, right, and like next to each other, and they don't go like immediately attacking each other. They kind of get their bearings, they figure out like what the hell, and then they kind of go do their own thing. They don't go, but you put them, you take them in the jar, you shake them up, and then you dump them on the ground, and then they just start killing each other.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
No,
there's all those interesting ones too, like with the study about, I think they did it with rats to understand like population size, and it was like as long as there's enough resources, the rats live great. They respect each other. They don't kill each other. They don't fight. The women have their proper role. The men have their proper role. The society's good. Like, there's not violence. It's like a great situation. And then as soon as the population starts to cause there to be scarcity, like as soon as scarcity is introduced to the equation, all hell breaks loose.
Right.
And it turns into, a society you wouldn't want to live in very quickly, including things like prostitution. Like, you've got like the rat version of like women who like they don't want to work anymore. I'm going to get this wrong, but it's like some weird thing where it's like they don't want to work anymore. They just want to have like food brought to them, and then they'll like give sexual favors for like who brings them food, or like, I don't remember, but there's like weird stuff that develops that you see in humanity that the rats start doing after a while when there's too many rats in the space.
Right.
They make it like a city basically, and there's just there's resource, amount of resource scarcity and just overcrowding, and it turns, it looks not dissimilar to what our modern day projects look like and stuff like that.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I saw the one I like with the rats was the one that proves hope, the power of hope. Did you see that one?
I don't remember.
They put a bucket, I think it's a bucket of water or a bucket of some fluid, and they drop
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
drop
whether it'll tread water
a
or not.
couple of rats
Yeah,
in
yeah.
it. And I think they swam around. There's no way out.
Right.
They swam around, and I think on average it took 15 minutes before they gave
They
up.
died, yeah.
Or I think they took them out.
Okay.
I don't know if they actually died. I don't remember now. But right, they would have died,
Yeah.
right, if they didn't die.
Yeah.
But they gave up. And then they did another experiment where they put the rats in, and then they rescued one rat before, I think like 10 minutes in or something further into the experiment. They rescued one, and the other one saw it.
Yep.
And it gave them hope. And they tread water for like 60 hours or something crazy. Like something, maybe I'm probably getting it wrong, but it was something like
you're definitely getting a little wrong, but the point is exactly
wrong,
right.
dude.
Yeah.
Like it was like way, way, way longer.
Yeah.
Like from minutes to like days.
Yeah, yeah. Basically the point being, what you said, is like, if there's no hope, they'll die super quick. And if there's hope, they'll go forever.
Right.
Like,
so where does that come from? Where does hope come from, right?
Yeah.
It comes from a story you tell yourself.
Yeah, right. Right. It's like the reality you experience, which one of the things that can control that is the story you tell yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you want to have faith in?
Right.
Does what you choose to have faith in give you hope?
Right. Right.
Because that's like nitrous oxide. That's the jet fuel, right? Hope's the,
Yeah.
like, that's it, man. So what are you putting in your head to replenish, strengthen, increase, multiply your hope?
Right.
Your feeling of hope, your vision of hope, your understanding of hope? Or is it watching the news and watching robberies and murders and drugs and fires and climate change and blah blah blah? What is that filling your head with? Fear.
Right.
Right? Exactly. Well, that's like the antithesis of hope.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, are people getting sicker and unhealthier in the West? Are their lifespans decreasing, even though we have the greatest medicine in the world?
Right.
Why? I don't know. Maybe there's an association. I mean, if Trump says it, there won't be. Then people are like, no,
dude,
I will consume the fear and I will consume it all day. There's no hope. Think about it. Like, imagine
right. The big point is there's no hope.
Right.
Right.
Like it would just be that easy. Can you imagine? If that happened, that I could see turning into Mad Max.
Yeah. 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 It's interesting. Man, there's a whole bunch of other stuff I'd love to jump into, but I'm out of time.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the Paros or anything.
I mean, if we want to do the Pyros, we could do 2 minutes on that.
Well, you got to do it. I don't know anything about it. All I know is Fernando got stuck in Quito for a little bit, and now they may be like expanding further south.
Yeah. So the 2-minute version of the national strikes that go on in other parts of Latin America too. I don't know in other parts of the world, but definitely in Latin America, which they call el paro. They call it here, which paro just means like stop. So basically, if the population, and it tends to be the indigenous population more so than the population in whole, but if the population gets upset enough about stuff that the government's doing, and they don't like the direction that things are going, they will do these national strikes. It could be over anything. Like we've seen them since I've been here since 2013. I've experienced some level of national strike. I'm sure half a dozen times at least.
Really?
Yeah, and sometimes that's like it doesn't really materialize. Like sometimes it's almost nothing.
I mean, I think since I've been here, maybe it was one time in almost 5 years.
I can't think of a big one since you've been here.
Okay.
Yeah, so sometimes they kind of fizzle out and they're like nothing, and then other times, prior to me arriving, they would topple presidents like that. So what that basically means is like they'll organize mostly indigenous, but not necessarily only indigenous, but like they'll organize and they'll cut off sort of major travel ways, like major roads and things like that. And then if they're really pissed, like they'll march on Quito, and they'll demonstrate, and they're basically trying to shut things down in order to get something accomplished that they're trying to accomplish. So in this case, the main beef, as I understand it, is over them getting rid of the diesel subsidy.
Right.
And so if you look at the history of this, it's super interesting. Like going all the way back to Rafael Correa, they've been trying to get rid of the gas and diesel subsidies completely. And they've mostly failed at it, although they've sort of slow-rolled it partially successfully. So now, like, most of the gas subsidies are gone for, like, petrol, gas, like what we call gas, like petroleum.
Sure.
Petrol. Most of those subsidies are gone. They still had one on diesel. That's gone now, too. Every time they've...
So diesel went from $1.79 to $2.79.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Which is a big increase.
Yeah, when they did it with gas, it was a big increase too. Big increase. So, yeah, they've had big. I think Moreno almost had to resign over this. But it's clearly been, it's clearly an order that comes down from very high, because we've had now, Correa, Moreno, Lasso, and now Noboa all try to implement the exact same policy. Those people couldn't disagree with each other more politically.
Right.
We have extreme left, far right, others in between, all trying to get rid of the gas subsidy. But yeah, so they're doing a national strike. Like, if you're in our region, you wouldn't even know that it's going on. No one's talking about it. It's not a thing, but obviously it's made national headlines because I keep getting people asking me about it, which I don't know, because no one here is paying attention to it, because it doesn't really matter. It's just the political gyrations of Latin America and Ecuador. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long it lasts, because people are suggesting that that Noboa is going to use the military on the people. I don't know how much of that is fear mongering, or if that's actually happening. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah.
Yeah. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. Well, if you made it this far, guys, gosh, really seek horse therapy. Get an extra session this week. You really, really, really need it. I don't want to see you homeless. So, if you'd love to check out Doing Life Down Here, check out the link below. We do retreats. We have a retreat coming up in January, so click the link. We'd love to see you down here. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe to the channel and put a comment below horse therapy, Jesse will give you a one-on-one consultation on how to properly navigate through animal-human horse therapy.
Wow.
Yeah. So do that. Give us a thumbs up. We hope to see you down here one day, guys.
Until then.
We'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.
Ciao, guys.
Hey, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Taking this quick break to remind you, we run Vilcabamba lifestyle retreats. If you're interested in checking out this area, hanging out with us, getting all the information you could possibly want, and having a great time, check out the links below. Thanks so much. Back to the program. Anyways, all right.
No, you got it. That's good. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. You're welcome. All right, what are we talking about today?
Well, I don't know. Do you know anything about the paddles? We should talk about that if you know anything. I don't.
I know. No, I don't. We can talk about it. Okay. I don't know anything.
So we should definitely talk about that. We should talk about... we should talk about the Charlie Kirk Snake Eyes stuff. Snake Eyes movie, I think.
What is that?
That's like a wild one. We could talk about... I saw Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner's daughter. I thought it was a rehash.
Yeah?
It came through on my feed. It's her in a mask. I just assumed it was from 2020.
Oh, yeah. She's still in a mask.
It's her daughter. It's their daughter campaigning to the UN that they need to implement mask mandates. right now. About
too much air.
About the right, and she's making it about the right to filtered air.
The right to filtered air.
The right to filtered air.
Yeah.
Dude, it's wild. Like, I'm like, what?
It's a human right.
Wow. Like,
wearing a mask is a human right.
Yeah, right. To filtered air.
Yeah.
Like, this is a 20-year-old kid.
Wow.
A 20-year-old kid. But I know, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Like, so, we should talk about that. We should talk
¿Ya estás grabando o no? Solo empezamos como hace más o menos 1 minuto. 1 minuto o 2 minutos para anotar. Gracias.
And then Hillary Clinton made the rounds recently. You know,
yeah, what was
or
she
at
doing?
least, you know, whoever's playing that character these days. She was on MSNBC on what is it, Good Morning Joe or Cup of Joe or whatever the hell that show was called. I think that's the show she was on. But she has a warning, and she's just going to say it. She's warning against the rise of Christianity. Says that white Christian men are causing such damage to the United States. Like this is a quote: "The idea that you could turn the clock back and try to recreate a world that never was, dominated by, let's say it, white men of a certain persuasion, certain religion, certain ideology. It's just doing such damage to what we should be aiming for." Like, that's like
some WEF mandates.
That's wild, man. Yeah, so I think we should talk about those 3 things for sure because they're entertaining.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see the Snake Eyes stuff?
No.
Dude.
I definitely saw. No, I saw something about it yesterday, but I didn't know what they were talking about.
Okay, you remember the snake? It was like, I don't know if you would have been in the movies then. It's a movie called Snake Eyes with Nicolas Cage from like '98.
Oh, I did see this last night, where he's like sitting there like this on the cover. And
on one of the posters or something.
Yeah, and they were comparing it.
Yeah, well.
To what just happened with
Do you want
Charlie
me to give
Kirk
it, like, this is a good little summary. Do you want to hear it? Like,
well, let's just do it on the pod.
Okay, yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah, I did read that last night.
Dude, it's pretty nuts. Like,
yeah.
Because it's one of those things that you have to really convince yourself. You have to actively convince yourself that this is not a coincidence. Or that it's just merely a coincidence.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And then, and if you don't convince yourself that it's just a coincidence, all these things are just a coincidence, then it's like, well, what is it? Because you can't. You have to actually convince. Like, it's too coincidental, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That it's not an actual coincidence.
Yeah.
So then, what does it mean? And how do you evaluate? How do you assess? How do you analyze what it should mean? What for you, for life, for the world, for people, for whatever? Like,
what does
it's
it
just
mean?
An interesting or, you know, just take the blue pill. It's a coincidence. You know,
yeah.
Right?
Or it doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
It's made up.
It's a wild one. Yeah. Like, it's a real wild one.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
What else?
It's good enough. Let's roll.
All right.
Hello and welcome back to the Ecuador Insider Podcast. Jesse, Brandon.
Hey guys, we're here in Vilcabamba with the Abundant Living team. To learn more about our next retreat, click the link in the description down below. From our family to yours, welcome to Vilcabamba.